Hey guys, it's Denise Cooper, and I am going to do a mini wrap up, a big wrap up, a mini review. I don't know. Let's just do it. All right, so I'm going to read you something, right? I would not recommend this book. Why 3 stars then? Because I had to read it with my own voice, my daughter of a voice that mourns for the loss of, the absence of, the indifference. I had to connect to something, and I did. I am the daughter of the lost, unacknowledged fathers of fathers that walk away from their daughters. Those daughters who choose to ignore and replace us with other insignificant things in their indifferent lives. Yep, that made about as much sense as this book. Yet, this 2-star book gained a star when I heard this daughter's mourning, from page to repetitive page, of how nothing really matters. Yet this girl goes on to rant for 195 pages. Coming from a family of illiterate men, this child grows up to be a literate woman who not only has more feeling and rebellion in her delicate bones that have seemingly been crushed by a father that does not acknowledge her. Or does he acknowledge that he is even a father? It just turns circles and never seems to take flight, which again, I, at 50 years old, can connect to, because I still am crying over a father that took flight. I am talking about none other than, I don't know, did I throw the book away? I don't know. Mr. Potter. His daughter tells this story, and she is repetitive as all get out. As you guys know, I asked you to save me from this book. You didn't, so I had to go and revisit it. I was painting, and I was still just a little upset with, why is this my first Jamaica Kincaid book, and I've got about, 4 or 5 of her books on my shelf, and I bought this book, because the cover is so beautiful. 2002, I purchased this book in Florida, and I loved the cover so much. And then when I read a James Patterson book, he mentioned Mr. Potter in the book, and I'm like, I got that on my shelf. Oh my God, I'm going to read that book. Years later, 2015, I'm just now visiting this book, and I read it this year, and I did give it 3 stars. That was my review that I just read off of Goodreads. Yes, I did connect. I didn't do a lot of reading, like I said I was going to do, or I didn't get finished with all the things that I said I was going to read. I did, however, finish for the second time Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler, and I might be out of focus. But anyway, this is the book I read. This book makes you paranoid. It makes you want to pack a nightsack at your door, like you did when you were 9 months pregnant and waiting the baby, and you know that you had to go as soon as those pains hit you. Yeah. This book makes you paranoid. This book is on steroids of how bad the system that we are living in is right now, and it's elevated to the heights, beyond heights, and this is how tragic things are. She's young, she's a heroine, she's smart, she's probably smarter than I've ever been in my whole natural life. And then Parable of the Talents. So I'm not sure if that's in focus. There we go. Beautiful book, beautiful book, beautiful book. Octavia Butler. Did I finish it? No. This is the book that I was reading while I was painting, and I had to switch to audiobooks. So the audiobooks that I got through, The Healing by Jonathan O'Dell. I want to do a review. I really do. A proper review. This is a good book. And then on the last CD, at the end of the CD, he comes on and he talks about why he wrote this book and why he is a Southern literature writer. And this book is good. It's a good story. I'm telling you. It's a slave tale, but it's a good story. Anyway, and I also got through and enjoyed Miss Nsuke Shenge, and there's that, if you can see it. Sorry. There we go. Anyway, it's called Lost in Language and Sound, and I listened to this while I was painting because of a book that I am reading right now, and I did not get a chance to finish. Sorry, I'm dropping stuff all over the place. And I've done several videos, and I'm not going to do it over, but Some Sing, Some Cry is the book that Brown Girl Dreaming and Stevie Reed's read, and they did a live show, and I missed it on purpose because I still got to read the book. And so then I'm going to go over and watch the show and comment like they just did it. That's just how I do things. But I was painting a lot, and I'm sure they can understand. That's what I'm reading now, but the reason why I read that, or listen to the audiobook is to get ready for Some Sing Some Cry. And it was really good. Learning about her life, and music has so much to do with why she's a writer, why she's a dancer. Obviously you dance to music, but it's really good. The theater people, and she just drops names like yeah, it's just all over the place with her experiences in this life as an artist, as a dancer and a poet. She's amazing, yeah. So it's a good thing to listen to. I'm not sure if I would have enjoyed the read. Now, something I'm talking about not enjoying. Nikki Turner, Natural Born Hustler. It was 3 CDs, and I'm thinking, wow, I got this at the library. So you guys, I've been taken. They have shorted me. There's like space for at least 3 more CDs. Then I turn it over on the back, and it says General Fiction, 2 hours, 50 minutes, 3 compact discs. Yeah, it's just that short, and it's just not good. I give it 1 star. And not interested in the characters. I think on Goodreads, when I talked about or gave the review, my thoughts, it's not like nobody's paying me to review anything, but my thoughts were, if this was given to a very well-matured literary writer, these characters would have developed, you would have had some backstory, you might have gotten a 400-page book out of this. Yeah, but that's just not the case. And something else I read. Now, National Black Book Festival, that's my computer. I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, I got these 4 books. I ordered this one here from Amir Macon on www.aicpublications.com. And this is called Aisha the Navigator Trains a Leader, book number 1. And it's about a businesswoman who's a young girl. She's a business lady, a business child growing up to be an entrepreneur, and she's amazing, and she's talking to kids in the playground, and she just settles some indifferences, and it's really good. And then I read on the male side, he's got Ali the Inventor. So Ali the Inventor Saves the Garden. This is the first in a series, and he sent me the second, and for both of those, Ali and Aisha's second books. I got 3 actually free, because this is the only one that I ordered, and he sent me all 3. So please visit him, read the books, they're really good. I'm reading them first, and then I'll pass them to my granddaughters. The first 2 I showed you, they are on Goodreads, so they did go towards my Goodreads challenge, and I'm happy about that. And then another reason why I wasn't finished with all my books, because I was out buying books. Sister Soldier! And I showed you guys that in Barnes & Noble, who has a clinic and counter right in the middle of the store, and Ralph Lauren and all that other stuff. Yeah, and another thing I'm reading are all the New Yorkers that keep popping up at my door because I paid for them. And I like to read one of the articles as soon as I get one. Another thing that I'm listening to, and this is really good, it's very informative. I had no idea, and I told you guys about this. I showed you in the book haul from the library, and it's Destined to Witness, Hans J. Massaquoi, Growing Up Black in Nazi Germany. This is very worth the lesson in history. There it is. So I'm only on the second CD. I'm also listening to, and I'm listening to several at a time, because I have to have a feel for it when I'm painting. If I'm not feeling the story, then I'm not going to listen to it. I can just put in another CD. This is Edgewood Dandicat. Actually, she only edited this book. It's Haiti Noir, performed by various narrators, and the narration is really good. I'm on the second story, and then I was like, ooh, yeah, not really ready for that one. The first one was good and kind of wanted more. And so it's short stories on audio. And so imagine when you're reading a short story book and you kind of want more, and then you got an audio and people have really good narration because they're actors and theater and so forth and the like. And so it's really good. And then you go, okay, it's over? Okay. So anyway, then I start listening to this. So currently what's in my CD player right now is Jonathan Franzen, Freedom. And yeah, Freedom, a novel, Jonathan Franzen, so I got it right. I was trying to look at the actual camera. So anyway, that's what I'm listening to right now. And he's the author of The Corrections. And it's edited or narrated by David Ledoux. And he's really good. It sounds very upper classy and, you know, a little, it's just whatever. I'm only on the first CD for that one. That one I think I could probably just keep listening to because it's a funny, you know, and he's a really good narrator and it's just kind of funny. And I like it so. Hey guys, it's Denise Cooper and I'm never in focus, never in frame. Hi guys. I hope you can see me because you look kind of lopsided. Anyway, this is Denise Cooper, and I never did an October or November wrap-up. So I'm going to talk about some things that I did read. And I just made a video. Actually, I did make 2 videos, and neither one of them are worth a thing. So anyway, October, remember I was going to read October. Octavia Butler in October, and yeah, I did. I reread Parable of the Sours. I gave this a 4 stars out of 5 over on Goodreads. This is the book that I read. The first time I read it, I'm thinking, wow, this is a very good book, but this is like right now. This is written from 2020 something, let me see here. 2024 up to 2027, I believe, is the end of this book, and then it goes into the 2030s with Parable of the Talents. Now, Parable of the Sour. The first time I read it, like I said, it was good. Second time I read it, I'm thinking I need a backpack. I needed to have all kind of goodies in it, like canned goods, some Vaseline, some toilet paper, some toiletries, some women things, items. I need a whole bunch of roll of panties and bras and socks and shoes and all kind of things just to get ready. Just like when you were pregnant, you were 9 months and you thought you were having those contractions, but they were like, what, Braxton Hicks is what they're called. Yeah, you need that little knapsack right next to the door, so when your time came to deliver that baby, you could be ready and you can get your bag and you can go out the door. This is what this book makes you feel like. I'm telling you, it's like our time right now, but blown up on steroids, of how cruel we can be to one another. When we pass someone on the street and we only give them $1 when we know we could possibly afford 5. When you have abundance of water coming out of your faucet and someone else is going through the slum villages in their country drinking water that has been defecated on. Why are we not doing better? Why is it so cool for us to just get up, get ready, go to our wonderful jobs and know that someone on the other hand is starving, is being beat to death by soldiers, being made out of children soldiers, being made to live in families that don't want them there because maybe their house burned down and no one is helping anybody, and there are children on the streets peddling wares that they have stolen from possibly you. Why aren't we doing better? This is what this book made me feel like. And the young heroine in this book is so smart, so intelligent. I'm thinking, wow, I was not that smart when I was a teenager, and coming out from all of what she has to go through and writing her own Bible pretty much, coming up with her own way to shape God, and God is change, and so forth and so on. This book is good, okay? And then I have not finished Parable of the Talents because you guys know I was painting a lot. My customer came this past Monday. Today is Wednesday, December the 3rd. My customer came and picked up his painting. We had a lot of rainy days, so he didn't come when we had talked about it because it just rained for like 3 or 4 days straight. So anyway, not talking about that. Parable of the Talents, yeah, it carries on. I believe if I start talking about this book, I'm going to spoil something. So it just goes on with this young, smart heroine and her earth seed principles, her book, her Bible. And yes, that's all I'm going to say about that. And I had a good Octavia Butler month. However, it got interrupted, thankfully, because I had the art show in October, and remember I sold about 3 different paintings from that, and then the commissions start coming in. And those of you who know that I was painting for a poet friend of mine, I'm not sure if you can even, if I'm in focus really. I'm not going to make another video, so if this doesn't come out, then I got to get to work. Painting, I'm getting ready for Spring Art Gallery Night. I've got 4 months to do that, and I'm still reading. I'm still listening to a lot of audio, and I've got them on the table, and I'm going to show you those. But trying to get away from telling you, but my friend did pass away. I spent 6 hours that night talking to her about artwork for her CD, her poetry CD. She's a beautiful, beautiful spirit, and she has left this world, and we are all going to leave this world, and that is something that I wanted to share with her. And of course she already knows that, but in the destituteness of leaving and knowing that you're going to be on your way out, like right now, I could, you know, something could happen to me. However, knowing that the inevitable is right next door, and I don't know when the inevitable is happening, it leads us to believe that we could live even longer. Okay, so with all that said, I had some paintings that I did for her, and I'm still working on, because I'm still going to finish them, um, and that way I can just keep going with the project that she had set before her passing. So rest in peace, my friend. And so that was my October. A lot of painting, a lot of selling of art, and a lot of love and light and going on, and a lot of lessons I learned from that woman. Yes, I did. Love her. Mr. Potter, remember I did that crazy video about that. Now, Mr. Potter, I just sat here and did a review of this book, and the video cut off, so I'm not going to do it. But I will say that I would not recommend this book to anybody that just thinks, oh, I just want to read something good. I'm in a good mood for a literary read or blah, 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 what have you. And it's so redundant, and you throw it upside the wall thinking, what did she try to get me to read? However, I went back and revisited this book after I finished my painting, and I needed to find something beautiful. I needed to find something that I could relate to. And with the passing of a friend, and also my experience being wrapped up in this book, when it talks about Mr. Potter and the Mr. Potters before him. Now, the person that's telling this story is the daughter, and her disconnect with the father, who just basically disowned her and all the other daughters that he brought into this world by several different women. So she's telling the story, and it's so repetitive, and it just, you guys know. And but when I got to the part where she's talking about her father, because she talks about the several different Mr. Potters, so basically her grandfathers, and how they cannot read and write. And then she's writing this book, and I'm thinking, well, maybe that's the problem with the redundancy in this book. She can read and write. Maybe she's one of the first of his generation, of his family line that can read and write, but she doesn't do it that well. Maybe that's Jamaica Kincaid's point. So, okay, I took that. And then when she starts talking about the disconnect between her and her father, I could relate. I have a story that has been holding on to me in my life with my father. Now, my father in this picture behind me raised me, but he was not my father. On my birth certificate, I don't mind sharing this because that's what made me connect in this book, is the fact that my certificate says where the father's name should be, name withheld. So, and then she talks about how Mr. Potter's, all his daughters, including herself, have his same nose, and that's the one thing that he could recognize about them. However, he did nothing in taking part of raising them, acknowledging them. Even indifference is like all throughout this book. She uses that word constantly. I think the word is indifference. And you're talking about life and how, you know, when Mr. Potter did this, that, and the other, there's a whole bunch of people around doing this. So the experience is not so grand. We all are pretty much on the same plane, no matter where you are in your life. It's just the same. Everything is just a little bit indifferent. Oh, this book. But it had some gems in it. It had some profound lines in it. And the fact that I could make a connection. And then what I had to do this because I'm a little theatrical. I am an artist, and so I kind of get in my own little world and figure out, okay, now why did she write it like this? Why is it so redundant? Why is it so repetitive? Why is she mentioning this name over and over and again? Why is she doing this? So I said, she's a daughter. She disconnected from her father. I'm in the same boat, right? I'm going to read this in the pissed off way she probably wrote this book, as the daughter. And when I did that, I'm thinking, damn, she's ranting and she's fumbling with her words because she cannot fathom how somebody could bring you in this world and totally not recognize that you are a living, breathing being such as yourself. Like, how indifferent can a person be? So I had to read it like that, with that attitude, with that mindset, with that pain, with that mourning. She mourns through this whole entire book for a father that could give a lasting damn about who she is, and the fact that she is the reader and writer of this line. I don't know why it cuts off. I don't know why it's smaller and I'm way up here. I don't know why. But that's the end of my October and November wrap up. I'll see you in January. Bye, you guys.